chasing something right now.
Lamar with 5 touchdown passes.
Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
Appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of The Flock Rundown. What a game, man. What a win. Baltimore Ravens win 41-31 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football. We got a Jackson 5. That was a fun game, man. A little annoying at the end. We'll talk a little bit about the bad stuff at the very end of the episode, but let's celebrate, man. This is another huge win, 5 straight wins for this team. Lamar Jackson, 5 touchdowns, 5 incompletions, no interceptions. He did have that fumble, the backwards pass to Zay, but man, what a game from Lamar. What a game from this offense in general. Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry, 81-yard run where he hit his fastest speed of the season. And then also had a couple bigger runs later. Lamar Jackson out there blocking for him, man. This was an offensive explosion. Let's dive into some details from this game. The first quarter was awful. You know, the offense barely got the ball. There was a lot of penalties. Defense couldn't stop anything again. The Bucks chose to get the ball first after they won the coin toss. I always feel like that is disrespectful, but then they just went right down the field and scored a touchdown, easy touchdown to Mike Evans. It was a good schemed up route. They brought 17 over. Marcus Williams ended up taking 17, and then Brandon Stevens just looked lost and didn't drop deep enough. I wish this secondary would stop getting confused and just, you know, shade over to the guy that they're going to throw the ball to, which is Mike Evans. You know, 17's coming over. He's a distraction. I'd rather have Baker try and fit it over some heads and hit 17 in the back of the end zone than sit here and not put attention towards a guy like Mike Evans. But whatever, easy touchdown for them. Offense wasn't able to get points. Bucks end up going down the field again, getting a field goal. The Bucks were blitzing the offense early, and we didn't really have a good answer for it in the first quarter. Lamar was sacked on that first drive and back-to-back plays to end that. And then in the second quarter, we started throwing a lot faster and having a lot of answers to the blitz. So once again, shout out to Lamar, shout out to Todd Monken. These answers, these adjustments in game to whatever the defense is giving you, or to attack their weakness or counter the challenges that they're bringing to you. And the Ravens have been doing that beautifully over these last few weeks, and that continued in this game. Slow start in the first, but then we got going in the second. And then it helped a lot that Baker ended up throwing an interception to Marlon Humphrey on the goal line. I think they were on the 2 or 3 yard line. They don't run it. Baker's back there with all the time in the world dancing, and then forces one right into Marlon Humphrey. I think that was a big turning point for this game because the Ravens could have been down 17-7, and now we're talking about the Ravens playing from behind again, and the Bucks are in a different position, you know. So the fact that they threw that interception, Ravens ended up capitalizing, getting 7 more. Now they're up 14-10. They end up getting another field goal before half. Baker throws another interception. Mike Evans drops a touchdown and then pulls his hamstring, or at least aggravates his hamstring that he's been dealing with all week and not practicing for, so he ended up leaving the game and never returned. So that's obviously a huge loss because the Ravens did not prove to have any answers for the combo of Godwin and Evans. You know, the defense played a little better when he went out of the game, but I wonder why. So the Ravens end up getting a field goal, going up 17-10, and now they're in a beautiful position because the Bucks chose to get the ball to start the game, which did work out for them. They went down and scored a touchdown, but the Ravens got the ball to start the second half. The Ravens coming out of half end up getting a field goal after a ton of penalties. They got enough yards to get Tucker in range. I think he hits a 52-yarder. Now they're up 10, and then the game started to break open a little bit. Now the Bucks are playing 2 possessions behind. They don't have Mike Evans, and you saw an absent pass rush in the first half start to come to life a little bit. And you can just play a different style of ball when a team is trailing by 2 scores in the second half, because in the first half, the Bucks were able to run the ball, they were able to throw the ball, they were able to basically get anything they wanted going. Our defense didn't have a lot of answers until Mike Evans went out of the game, and our offense just continued to score drive after drive and put the Bucs in a hole, that's when our defense kind of came to life. And then Lamar Jackson in the third quarter hitting that 49-yard touchdown to Bateman. Bateman with a huge game, man. Breakout game. He's really coming on these past few weeks as well. Mark Andrews catches his second touchdown of the game in the third quarter, passes Todd Heap for the most touchdowns by a tight end in Ravens history. So pretty crazy that Mark Andrews is going to go down as the greatest tight end in Ravens history. Lamar is going to go down as the greatest quarterback. It's pretty special that we are actively watching some of the greatest offensive Ravens to ever play. We're watching them right now, week after week, just go off. Derrick Henry had that huge 81-yard run to set up the Mark Andrews touchdown. And then we get to the fourth quarter, and our defense just got really soft. We had a huge lead. It almost felt like we were about to pull the starters. I know the Ravens and Lamar at that point did want the Jackson 5, so they did keep him in a little bit longer. Plus, the Bucs started scoring, man. The defense just really letting up a lot of underneath stuff, which I do understand, but almost just too easy, man. The defense just really let off the gas in the fourth quarter. Ed Reed even made a comment about it, just, you know, they're checked out. They think they have this game won. They don't know how to finish. And in this game, that's proven to be true again because the defense let up 3 scores in the fourth quarter, score and then get the onside kick and score again. And I'm like, man, here we go. We've seen this story before. Thank God the offense had such a big lead, or it would have been another blown lead. So defense is still concerning for sure. And, I don't leave this game feeling much better about it because they really didn't start playing that well until Mike Evans went out and the offense started scoring drive after drive to put the Bucs behind. That's when you saw the defense start to play a little better, and then the fourth quarter just letting up score after score. You could see it on Lamar and Henry's face. Just like, come on, man. At this point, I think they had 34 on the board. They're like, when is that enough? That's got to be enough. You know, this is the Ravens defense. We can't be letting up 30-plus week after week. I guess we can right now. We're getting away with it because we got the best offense in the league. But that's not really sustainable. The defense has to lock in, man. They got to figure something out. You know, I don't have all the answers either, or I'd be the D coordinator, but I'm just saying it can't be like this. There's way too much talent out there for the defense to be letting up 30-plus. But the Ravens were able to get another touchdown in the fourth quarter. It was a pass to Derrick Henry, so Lamar Jackson did complete the Jackson 5, which he is well known to do in primetime Monday Night Football, and it happened again. So pretty stress-free win, but definitely a little blemish with how the defense performed early in the game and then to close out the game. But offense is rolling, man. Offense is clicking on all cylinders. Let's dive into these stats. Lamar Jackson, 17 of 22, 281 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked twice. He also had 9 carries for 52 rushing yards. Derrick Henry, 15 carries, 169 rushing yards. No rushing touchdown in this game, but he did have a receiving touchdown. Zay Flowers had 1 carry for 19 yards. Zay was not very involved in this game. Rashad Bateman, 4 catches, 121 receiving yards, and a touchdown. Insane game from him. Justice Hill, 3 catches, 44 receiving yards, and a touchdown. Mark Andrews, 4 catches, 41 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. I think it's safe to say that Mark Andrews is fully back. I mean, week after week now for the past 3 weeks, his target share is growing and he's scoring touchdowns now. So it's definitely feeling like the connection between Lamar and Mark is as strong as ever. Heading over to the defense, Roquan Smith leads the way with 18 tackles. That's insane, man. 11 solo. Kyle Hamilton with 11 total tackles. Eddie Jackson with 8. Trenton Simpson with 8. Ardarius Washington had 6 tackles and a sack. Dafe Owe got a sack. Kyle Van Noy got a sack. Marlon Humphrey with 2 interceptions. He did leave the game with a knee injury, so hopefully he's okay. I think Harbaugh said that it's not super serious, or at least they're hopeful that it's not serious, but he did leave the game and not come back. That is definitely a big loss for our team if he has to miss any time because he is our best corner right now. But heading over to the Bucs stats, Baker Mayfield, 31 of 45, 370 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, both to Marlon Humphrey. He was sacked 3 times. And then they had 125 yards on the ground. Rashad White, 10 carries for 40. Sean Tucker had 29. Irving had 23. Baker added 22 on the ground. And then through the air, Cade Otton led the way, their tight end, with 8 catches for 100 yards. Rachaad White had 6 catches for 71 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chris Godwin, 7 catches for 65 yards. Terrible what happened to Chris Godwin at the end of the game. Just prayers up for him and wishing him a speedy recovery. Bucky Irving, 3 catches for 54 yards. And then Mike Evans had that 1 catch for 25 yards and a touchdown. The story of this game is just how unstoppable this Ravens offense is right now. Week after week, they are putting up ridiculous numbers on the ground and through the air. And it doesn't really look like they're about to slow down. They're super multiple. They have an answer for everything that the defense is bringing. A couple early stalls in the first quarter, but, I mean, that happens. You're on the road. You come out a little flat. You know, it's not the end of the world. They still put up 41 points. I don't have much bad to say about the offense at all. Maybe the holding penalties. A couple of those holding penalties were ridiculous. I thought the refs were throwing too many flags, both sides of the ball tonight. But the Ravens do have to work on their penalties. We've been pretty inconsistent with that throughout the season, and it's really just a discipline issue. Obviously, the ref's going to make a bad call here and there, but there's also plays where we're giving them a reason to throw the flag, and we just have to play smarter and cleaner football than that. I'm feeling great about this team and their direction. I'd leave the game with a little sour taste just because of how the defense closed the game out and how the defense looked early when the Bucs were at full strength with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. The defense had no answers. The secondary was not able to stop them. We are very fortunate that Baker forced a throw in there on the goal line, and Marlon Humphrey was in great position and actually caught the ball. Not that he's been dropping them this year, but we have dropped many picks. I think our Darius Washington had another drop. Nate Wiggins had a ball that was right there that he could have picked. So we're not capitalizing on a ton of turnovers, but Marlon Humphrey did tonight twice, so that was big. And if this defense can figure it out and start playing better, I mean, we're going to blow a lot of teams out, man. This is a dominant team right now. I'm excited, man. 5 straight, Jackson 5 tonight. It's a good night, man. I hope you guys are celebrating. Let me know what I missed and didn't talk about. This is always my first reaction. You guys are probably watching this the next day, but I'm filming this immediately after the game. So let me know what I didn't talk about, what I didn't highlight. Let me know what your thoughts are about the game. But that's it for tonight. I appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Enjoy your Victory Tuesday tomorrow, and I'll let the greatest linebacker in the history of the game take us out.
Ravens Flock. The Flock Rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. The Flock Rundown. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.